Imagine your phone buzzing in your hand. Not a gentle vibration for a text, but that violent, jarring buzz that freezes your blood. The screen flashes red. It's an emergency alert. The kind you only get for real, immediate danger. But you look up, and the world outside is perfectly calm. The city is quiet, and the most unsettling part, no one else got the alert. Not your family, not your friends, not a single other person. It was just for you. Emergency alert systems are built on trust. That harsh, unmistakable sound is designed to be impossible to ignore. In the United States, these alerts are used for critical situations, severe weather, missing persons, or imminent threats to public safety. Every alert is regulated, logged, and traceable. That's why stories about phantom alerts warnings that shouldn't exist are so profoundly disturbing. They break the rules of our connected world. Our story begins on a completely ordinary evening. Ahmed is at home, maybe scrolling through social media with the TV murmuring in the background. Outside his window, city life hums along as usual. The distant sound of traffic, the glow of street lights. No sirens, no strange weather, nothing out of the ordinary. It was so normal he wasn't even paying attention to the time. And then it happened. His phone erupted with that piercing, insistent tone. This wasn't a normal notification. The screen was a solid, blazing red. In stark white letters, the message read, "Emergency alert. Seek indoor shelter immediately. Do not look outside." A cold dread washed over him. He muted the TV, listening intently. Silence. The world outside hadn't changed. No sudden storm, no alarms, no chaos. He checked the time, 9:18 p.m. He looked at his phone again, half expecting the message to vanish, to reveal itself as some kind of glitch. But it stayed there, glowing ominously. There was no agency listed, no county name, no expiration time, just that chilling command. Do not look outside. His first instinct was to verify. He texted his neighbor who lived in the same building. "Did you just get an alert?" The reply came back instantly. "No, nothing here. Everything okay?" He jumped onto social media. He searched for keywords, alert, warning, emergency. Nothing. News sites were running their usual stories. Government alert pages showed no active warnings for his area. Rational thought started to kick in. It had to be a software bug, a test message that got sent to the wrong person, maybe even some sophisticated malware. All of these explanations were plausible, but that one line kept circling in his mind. Do not look outside. Real alerts explain the threat. Tornado warning, chemical spill, active shooter. They give you a reason to be afraid. This message offered only a command and a void of information. He found himself moving away from the window, stepping into the hallway of his apartment. The space suddenly felt confining, unsafe. He tried calling the non-emergency police line just to be sure. Call connected rang once and then dropped. He tried again. Same result. Then his phone buzzed again with the same brutal urgency. It was an update to the first alert. Remain inside. This is not a test. His heart hammered against his ribs. He forced himself to take slow, deliberate breaths. Panic was the enemy. He reasoned with himself, if no one else received this, it can't be real. It's a glitch. A very, very convincing glitch. But despite his logic, he didn't go near the windows. He just waited. The minutes crawled by .5, .10, .20. The silence from the outside world was a stark contrast to the storm of anxiety inside him. At 9:47 p.m., exactly 29 minutes after the first message, his phone lit up one last time. The red screen was gone. A simple final message appeared. ALL clear. Thank you for your compliance. And then nothing. His phone returned to its normal home screen. He stood frozen for a few moments, waiting for something to happen, a sound, a follow-up. Anything. But the world remained unchanged. Later that night, his curiosity began to curdle into a deep, lingering unease. He checked his phone's emergency alert history. They were there. All 3 messages, time-stamped and logged. He took screenshots just in case. The next day, he started making calls. He contacted his mobile service provider. Their technical support team was baffled. They checked their system logs. There was absolutely no record of any emergency alert being sent to his device that night. He then contacted the local emergency management agency. They were firm. No alerts were issued. No tests, no drills, nothing. His friends offered the same explanations he'd already considered. It must have been a prank app or some corrupted software on his phone. So he did what any tech-savvy person would do. He backed up his important data and performed a full factory reset on his phone, wiping it clean. He ran every security scan imaginable. Everything came back spotless. This is where the story should end. A weird, unexplained glitch. A creepy anecdote to share at parties. But it doesn't, because if you dig deep enough into the corners of the internet, you'll find other stories like this. Scattered posts on old forums and social media threads describing the exact same phenomenon. Isolated emergency alerts received by just one or two people in a given area with no official acknowledgement. The messages are different, but the pattern is eerily consistent. An urgent, specific instruction. No context or explanation. And no public confirmation that it ever happened. Of course, there are rational explanations. Psychologists might talk about how stress and hypervigilance can lead to false memories or misinterpreting a normal notification. Tech experts point to cached data or system errors that could, theoretically, cause a phantom alert to display on a single device. These are all logical, but there's one detail mentioned in several of these accounts that stands out. Recipients felt the alert was responsive, that it seemed to react to their behavior. They'd move away from a window and a new message would appear. They'd turn off the lights and get an update. This, of course, is impossible to verify. It's just a feeling they had. An unconfirmed story from a now-deleted account claims the recipient chose to ignore the warning. They received an alert telling them to stay away from the windows, and they walked right over and looked outside. What did they see? Nothing. Just their normal, dark street. Cars passing by, street lights glowing. But here's the creepy part. They claimed that after they looked, they checked their phone's alert history, and it was empty. The messages were gone, as if they had never existed at all. The man in our story didn't look. He followed the instructions. He complied. In the weeks that followed, his life returned to normal. Nothing else strange happened, but something had shifted inside him. He found himself more aware of his phone, aware of how quickly a notification can demand and capture your full attention. He noticed the constant vibrations, the flashes of light, the digital noise that we all live with. And sometimes late at night when his phone screen lights up unexpectedly, he feels that same cold knot tighten in his stomach. It's not quite fear. It's something else. It's expectation. Because he thinks about it like this, if the alert was just a random glitch, a software bug, then its behavior should have been random. But if it wasn't a glitch, then that means something somewhere sent him a warning that was real. It wasn't sent to everyone. It was sent only to him. Thank you for watching. If you have a story about an unexplained phenomenon, share it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. Stay curious.